Hi everybody, it's Cynthia coming to you today, Thursday, to give you that wonderful crochet tip tutorial that you asked for. So here is a couple of things I want to tell you before we get started. One, down below in the comments, you will see that I have attached a top 10 must-haves knit and crochet tools to get you started and to remove any anxiety you might have about what tools do I get. So have no fear, I've shared with you the best ones to invest your time, money, and patience into. And trust me when I say they truly are the best of the best without having to break the bank. So I'm a mom, I know it's money, 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 and who has time for all that? So have no fear. I'm going to get you started the right way. Secondly, I want to tell you that today in this tutorial, my goal is to help you feel empowered and ready to start crocheting. Now, it's okay if you don't have the tools yet. No worries. The video is here and you can come back to it later when you need to watch and go through this step by step. I know, trust me when I say that it can be really, really difficult to have time to watch lengthy videos. So I promise you this as well. This video is not more than 10 minutes and you can watch it on a break, catch it in the bathroom when you're trying to escape work, whatever it might be. Have no fear that I am going to ensure you can do this simple thing in less than 10 minutes. So let's get started. Just so that you're familiar with things, this is a crochet hook. You want to make sure that you find one that has a pretty good hook on it. I'm using a bamboo wooden crochet hook. This is an 8mm one. You can feel free, and in fact the ones I recommend on my must-have guide are an aluminum stainless steel kind of hook, and I actually like those a little bit better, but I like this bamboo one as well, just for the comfort and for the sake of videotaping. It's a pretty easy one to do. I'm also using a simple, cheap ball of yarn. This is actually not my favorite yarn, but I do love it for tutorials because it's really bright, it's really easy to see, but it's something I'm moving away from a little bit. I don't recommend acrylic yarns, and I know that for many of you, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, Cynthia, they're so easy to get though. I can go to Walmart or whatever and pick up this yarn and it's only like $2. Well, there's a reason it's only $2. And part of that reason for me, and part of the reason I don't use this anymore, is they're not environmentally friendly. Acrylic yarn is actually made from plastics that have to be melted down, and there's this whole kind of crazy process to turn it into yarn, and it's really environmentally poor for the world. So I'm moving away from that and trying to go more into an environmentally friendly yarn. But the struggle with that as well is that then I'd have to show you how to undo those yarns and so forth. This yarn is pretty easy because it just pulls straight out, and it's something that I had that was bright enough to show up on video without creating any issues. I really like dark yarns. I know it's really scary to say, but I love dark colored yarns. They're so pretty. So I promise on the next video I will be using something that is way more environmentally friendly, but for today's sake I wanted to give you this quick tutorial and show you how to do it. So I grabbed what was around and got started. So let's get to it because I want to make sure you know how to do this, and I have faith that you can. So I'm going to put my hook down for a minute, and I'm going to start by showing you the simple basics that you'll need to know whether you're doing knitting or crocheting, and that is a slip knot. Okay, so as you can see, we have the end, and this is always called the tail, and the rest of the yarn is attached to whatever source you have, a ball of yarn, a skein of yarn, whichever way you're working from this. And I'm going to show you, and that's usually called the working yarn, I'm going to show you how to make the slip knot. Now the slip knot is really easy because it only requires a finger and your other hand. So here we go. I'm going to take my tail of yarn and I'm going to hold it between my middle finger and my thumb on the hand that I don't use. Now I'm right-handed, so I'm using my left hand to do this, and you want to make sure that that tail is over the front and closest to your heart. Aww. Then, of course, your working yarn is over the back of your finger and closest to you and the camera, right? For me, that is the case. Now, take that working yarn that's farthest away from you, bring it up underneath the bottom of your finger, closest to you, and wrap it back around the top of your finger. So then what you have is what looks like 2 loops, although it's really just like an illusion of magic, okay? Okay. Now here's the next step, and this is the super easy, awesome part. Take this back piece of yarn over the top of that first piece of yarn you have. Kind of put it on your fingernail a minute, don't let it fall back. And then take that loop that's now in the back over and off the finger. And what you've just made is a slip knot, okay? Now the awesome thing about slip knots is that as you pull on the tail end, the knot gets smaller, and you can also pull the loop itself and make the tail shorter to give yourself some more space. And if you pull the tail completely, the knot disappears, okay? So I'm gonna make this again really quickly. Around the finger, over the top, pull the back over and off. And then before you take this loop off your finger, take your crochet hook and put it through the loop, okay? Put it through that knot and then tighten it up. Super easy breezy. You got this. Now, let's crochet a chain. And I know what you're thinking, Cynthia, I can't do this. I can't. Yes, you can. Stop saying you can't, okay? The only way you can't do this is if you do not try. And I know you can try. So here we go. Working yarn, part of our knot. I'm gonna put my finger on my slip knot just to stabilize it. That's it. Don't have to leave it on there forever, no worries. Take this working yarn, pull it around the back of the hook away from you, and feed it to that little hook mouth. Look at that little hook mouth. It's like so hungry. It's like Pac-Man, right? Now, as you put that yarn in the hook mouth, you see I've let my slip knot slide forward, because now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to turn my hook so it's easy for you to see, I'm going to keep that little mouth and I'm going to pull it up and through and then turn it back. Let me show you again. Pull the yarn around the back. I know it seems like it's around the front because it's closest to you on the camera, but it's around the back of my hook to that little mouth. Turn your hook over so you can easily pull it through the loop and slide it down, okay? And you just keep doing this. Now this is all I want you to do. I want you to practice this chain motion. And it's really, really simple, okay? To just feed that yarn into the mouth, turn the hook over, pull it through the loop. And what you'll see I've created, I'm gonna take my hook out for a moment so you can see this. What you see I have created here, and it's very loose looking for a reason, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But what I have done is I've created a chain, okay? Now, this is a loose chain because my hook that I told you was an 8mm, it's a little bit bigger. Excuse me. It's a little bit bigger than what my yarn actually needs. I could probably go down a size or two and have a much tighter chain, but I wanted to keep this loose and big and fluffy so that the chain stitches were clear for you on camera, okay? So as you can see, and what's really great is because I've taken my hook out, then when you pull this out, what you'll see is I'm unraveling the chain, oh no, and I'm back to my slip hook knot, okay? So I'm gonna show you again, putting my needle, or I'm sorry, my crochet hook in through the slip knot. Let's do this again. So, put my yarn up and over into the mouth of my hook, and I'm turning my hook over to pull it through that slip knot. One. Beautiful, easy thing, okay? Now the really great part about this too is as you do this, your slip knot usually counts as your first stitch. So as you're doing this, you just keep with this motion, through, and you will have a wonderful chain, okay? So here's what I want you to do, because we're almost to the 10-minute mark, and I told you I was gonna keep this under 10 minutes. I want you to get yourself a hook. Hopefully it's one of those wonderful must-haves off the list. Get yourself some yarn. I've also recommended some great yarn for you to try. And I want you to just practice making a slip knot and doing a chain. Take some pictures, share them with the group, and let me know how great you feel about doing this or not. I'll see you soon. Have a great day and enjoy the weekend.